The biggest question I get from Amazon sellers is which campaigns actually work. There are so many options in Sell It Central that it's very hard to say which ones will bring in very profitable sales and which one's gonna lose money. In this video, I'm gonna walk you through the top 7 campaigns you should look at, in which situation you should consider to launch each of those, and also I'm gonna show to you how to launch all of these campaigns in Campaigns Manager. Let's start. As you might know, there are 3 main campaign types on Amazon: sponsored brand, sponsored display, and sponsored product. And the most of the spend goes to the sponsored product. Around 85-90% of all Amazon spend is there. So if you launch a new product, or even if you already launched the product many years ago, you want to make sure you take in maximum from this campaign type. So in that sense, in this video, I'm gonna cover top 7 Amazon campaigns you should have for sponsored product. So the group 1 is research campaigns. So here we have auto campaign and category campaign. So basically, what is the goal? The goal of auto campaign is to let Amazon to generate which search terms can basically you outsource the decision making where to show your ads to the Amazon, and Amazon does it pretty well. So Amazon gonna target either ASINs, either keywords. So this is the goal of the auto campaign. A lot of sellers think that you should have auto campaign only initially when you launch. I think that this is a common mistake. Auto campaign is something you should always have. Firstly, because regularly it has pretty low ACoS, and secondly, it moves with the market. Sometimes you forget to launch something, or new competitors are getting to the market. In that sense, the auto campaign gonna cover this, and you will not lose potential sales, and Amazon gonna catch these targets and give you sales. A second type of research campaign is category campaign. This is basically the same, but instead of targeting both keywords and ASINs, category campaign gonna target only ASINs. Also, here you can restrict, for example, by price. You can choose different categories. Sometimes your product technically could be in 3 categories, and you can choose these 3 ones and launch them separately, and Amazon gonna give you ads based on the category of your competitors. Okay, the second group of campaigns are more ASIN campaigns, right? So ASIN campaigns, what does it mean? For example, let's say you have auto campaign and category campaign, and in these campaigns you have some ASINs which are doing well, right? What you should do, you should consider them to launch in the separate ASIN campaign. So here we go. The goal of ASIN campaign is basically to launch the ASINs of your competitors, steal their traffic, and get potential sales from their listings. You can use basically auto and category campaign to get this data. Also, you can get these ASINs after doing the competitor research. So yeah, another type of ASIN campaigns which is not very common is the defense campaigns. So basically, the goal of the defense campaign is to protect your listing from competitors. What you want to do here, you want basically to launch your ASINs for your products. So basically, not let your competitors to get their listing and steal the traffic. The goal for the defense campaigns, the ACoS goal for the defense campaign should be lower. For example, if you tolerate 30% ACoS for ASINs, you don't want to have more than 50-20% of ACoS for defense, because basically it's your traffic, right? You're not getting new traffic. That's why, in that sense, you aim to have lower ACoS. And one of the most important groups, the group 3, are keyword campaigns, right? So basically, here we have exact, phrase, and broad. So as you can see here, we have either more control, either more reach. Basically, for the case of exact, we have maximum control, but not that high reach, basically. And for the broad, we have maximum reach and not that much control. For the case of exact, Amazon gonna show only for this specific search terms you launched. And for the phrase, Amazon gonna show the search terms which include your keyword, right? And for the broad, Amazon gonna show everything which Amazon feels that related to your product. Of course, as a bonus, there are many more campaigns. For example, you can launch expanded ASINs. So this is basically like a broad campaign for keywords, but for ASINs. Also a campaign type that can work. And also, for example, in broad or phrase, you can launch your brand name. Before doing that, you can check the share of sales you have for your branded keywords in the brand analytics. And for example, if it's lower than 70-80%, you might want to launch the branded keywords with the phrase either broad. So, okay, that's it. Let's go to the campaigns manager and see how to launch all of those campaigns. Okay, I'm going to the Amazon. So the first thing we are doing for any Amazon campaign, we are by writing the name of the campaign. So basically what I'm recommending to do here is to write sponsor product. If it's sponsor product campaign, right? Then to indicate the product name, let's say it this way. Then let's say you're selling back stretcher, and let's say it's gonna be an auto campaign, right? After that, you have two options, either Amazon and Beyond, either Amazon Business. Here, I recommend always to choose Amazon and Beyond because it basically includes Amazon Business. After that, here you choose the product, any of the ones you have. Then, as we are starting with auto campaign, here in the targeting type, we should choose the automatic targeting. And then here in automatic targeting, we want to choose the set bids by targeting group. So basically, the first option, it's gonna have one match type, which will include ASINs, different type of ASINs, right? Complementary, substitutes, it will include close match, loose match, everything together. You will not be able to optimize based on these match types. And that's why you always want to choose set bids by targeting group. Here we are. And then choose the specific bids for each of those. And then after you already launched, you will have an option to change the bids here. Then, for any campaign, you can consider to launch negative keywords or negative ASINs. So basically, if you already know in advance that something is not working for you, here you can launch either negative in exacts, either negative in phrase. Here it is very important to make sure that you really understand the difference, because, for example, if you're selling a back stretcher and you negate the word stretcher in phrase, you're gonna lose most of your keywords, right? But at the same time, potentially there are some keywords which might not work for, let's say, black back stretcher, right? Your one is white or yellow and your black was never working for you, you can negate it in exact, but never consider to negate the back stretcher in phrase here, because you're gonna lose all the traffic for you, right? The same with ASINs. So basically, if you're not for sure, you can exclude them here. After that, a very important setting, campaign bidding strategy. For 99% of the cases, I recommend to choose dynamic bids down only. In that way, you're gonna control your bids yourself and will not let Amazon the option to increase the bids on 100% if they decide to do so. And also, it's better than fixed bids because dynamic bids down only is a bit leaner. So fixed bid on a longer period gonna spend more, but with high chance not gonna give you more sales. And the next thing here, you want to optimize the placements, right? I recommend to start with more than 0% for top of the search placement, for example, 20%, and all two other ones you can keep the same. Then you're choosing the campaign name. So I'm recommended basically to use the same ad group name you have chosen here. And yeah, if you have a portfolio, you can choose here. I don't recommend to have an end date. And then you choose some daily budget. For example, if you're spending, let's say, $10,000 per month, you want to make sure that all new campaigns that you're launching not gonna have too much share of the spend, right? If you don't want to have more than 20-30% share of the new spend, if you want to launch a lot of new campaigns, you can try to launch them one by one. So in that sense, calculate carefully what daily budget gap you want to set for this new campaign. Okay, also never use this setting, increase bids for high traffic days, because Amazon with this setting setting can lose you a lot of money. Sometimes for high traffic days, you even want to decrease the bits, right? Not to increase the bits, because the more traffic comes, you can have lower ACAS. Okay, so basically we checked all the general settings you should use for most of the campaigns. And basically the next campaign I'm going to show to you is how to launch the category campaign. So basically you should go down and instead of automatic targeting, click manual targeting, and then you choose product targeting. Then you go here, categories, and here through search, with high chance you're gonna have here suggested campaigns a lot, or you click here search and find your category where your product listed, or like similar categories, and then you can basically click add this category, and the rest is the same. So we have negative keywords, negative product targeting, the same rules for bidding strategy, and the rest of the settings I mentioned. The next campaign type is async. So basically instead of doing here categories, we click here individual products, and then here you can choose either exact, either expanded, right? Here it's important to choose the custom bid, right? And then you choose either exact, either expanded, and then you can either put here the ASIN you want to launch, either enter the list and click target. Right? And the rest is the same. The next campaign is the defense. So basically you do the same as here, but for the defense, but never do defense in expanded. Use only exact, because Amazon can try to find similar products to yours, and in that sense it's not gonna be a defense anymore, it's gonna become the regular ASIN campaign. So always for defense campaigns choose exact, put your ASINs and then click target. Okay, and lastly, to launch exact, phrase and broad, here you should click manual targeting, then click keyword targeting, and go here, enter list, then you click here suggested bid, custom bid. Then you choose the bid you want to start with. Here we have 3 match types. The general recommendations is never launch all of them together. So always choose only one. If you want to launch the exact campaign, choose here exact and launch it. If you want to launch phrase campaigns, choose phrase and then type keywords and then click add keywords. If you want to launch broad, do the same for the broad. And after that, all the settings are the same. Set the campaign name, budget, and lastly, click here launch campaign. Yeah, that's it. Of course, this is not everything. We have a lot of campaigns in sponsored display. We have a lot of sponsored brand campaigns, for example, the video campaigns. But in this video, I covered the basic structure any product should have. Either the ones which just launched, either the ones which are already making millions, but in a lot of cases, what I'm seeing in the audits, even the brands which are doing millions, they are lacking this basic structure. And if you made sure that you have this, you can consider to launch sponsored display, sponsored brand, and develop your campaign structure. Okay, thank you for watching this video. Let me know if you have questions in the comment section. See you in the next videos. Bye.